April 28th edition of our Carolina weather video here on this Wednesday. And yesterday we did wind up with showers and some thunderstorms that rolled through portions of our region. Even a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings triggered across the area. And really the hot zone was extreme northern South Carolina and the extreme southern parts of North Carolina. Had a couple waves of thunderstorms moved through, each of which produced some lightning, a good bit of it, and some briefly heavy rain, breezy conditions with those storms, and some reports of small hail as well. Here's a look at the storm reports from yesterday from the Storm Prediction Center. Remember on the video yesterday morning I did highlight that any of the storms that did develop could produce some of those gusty winds and hail, and we did see that occur, mainly due to the very cold air aloft that was with that upper level low moving on through. The green dots there you see, that's hail reports, and the blue dots, that's where there was some wind damage reported. But today, a much quieter day. Now, while the severe weather was occurring and the thunderstorm activity in many lowland areas of the Carolinas, up in the mountains, this was a peek from Charlie's beach camera up there at Beech Mountain late yesterday afternoon, early in the evening. Snow! How about that? As that cold core upper level low moved on through. All right, the radar very quiet now over most of the eastern U.S. this morning, the exception being snow, and a decent amount of it up here in the New England states. And some of the higher mountains up there could wind up with 8 or 10 inches before this is said and done. Now, the next storm system for us still a few days away. I wanted to show you this. You've probably been following the story of the oil issues down in the Gulf of Mexico. And so far, the oil has stayed offshore. This is a look at the wind streamlines this morning. Notice the winds are still from the north there in the northern Gulf of Mexico. But that's going to be changing here over the next few days as we go ahead in time. In fact, let me just give you a peek out here as we get toward tomorrow. Notice those winds will be out of the south. So if that oil can't be contained, could begin to creep closer to the coast there, the northern Gulf Coast. All right, let's talk about the weather around here. This is a look at this afternoon. We're going to be in great shape. A lot of sunshine. We'll see highs this afternoon in the 60s. Tonight, it's going to be relatively chilly. I think upper 30s to low 40s for lows across the Piedmont. And could see some patchy frost in a couple of spots if we do get down into the 30s. So just be aware of that. Tomorrow, though, we'll begin to crank those southwesterly winds. We'll see highs tomorrow return to the 70s. Thunderstorm outlook tomorrow is mainly back in the plain states there. Slight risk running from Oklahoma up into southeastern Minnesota. Let's go out to Friday. That storm system continuing to creep eastward. And Friday could be a decent severe weather day back in parts of the Mississippi Valley and the plain states. A large slight risk running from the Great Lakes down to Louisiana and eastern Texas. Friday around here, we're going to be dry. With highs in the 80s and a lot of sunshine. So some great weather for us the next few days. Saturday, there's a look at Saturday afternoon's precip off the GFS. And notice it is painting some QPF here across the Carolinas. I can't rule out a few isolated storms Saturday afternoon, but for this morning's forecast package, I've still left rain out of the formal forecast, and we'll see if we need to add that in Saturday as we go through the next couple of model cycles here. But certainly Saturday, some thunderstorms off to our west. There's the day 4 convective outlook running from eastern Texas and Louisiana up into Ohio. Now eventually we're going to see that zone of showers and storms shift our way. The GFS paints a fairly stormy scenario running from Texas to the Carolinas Sunday afternoon. And then on Monday afternoon more of the same. With sort of an unsettled couple of days being indicated on the GFS. The GFS actually pushes that boundary briefly south of us Tuesday before the storm system then moves through. Again on another piece of energy, moves along that front, pulls some showers and storms through Wednesday. So the general idea here is that as we get into this weekend, it's going to get much more humid. Highs this weekend will be in the 80s, lows only in the 60s. And with that humidity, eventually, as that next storm system approaches and crawls our way from the west, we're going to bring back in the shower and thunderstorm chances. The timing of it's still a bit of a question mark, but in terms of the rain chances, I really haven't made many changes this morning from yesterday morning. I've left Saturday dry, and then I mentioned the chance for some showers and storms Sunday on into Wednesday of next week. And we'll see how we have to massage that timing as we go through the next couple of days. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Enjoy the quiet weather with sunshine the next few days, and God bless.